Welcome to Drone Brothers Radio, where we explore the crossroads of entrepreneurship, drone innovation, and the construction industry. Join us as we share insights, stories, and strategies shaping the future from the sky and the ground up.
Tonight, we're going to be talking about one of my favorite subjects, and probably one of the subjects everyone's talking about right now is AI and technology. So we're excited to have Joey join us. Quick background on us. We've been at this for starting our 13th year in business. We are a nationwide leader in the construction space, work with lots of big general contractors across the country, who in turn work with lots of big retailers like the Amazons and Costco's of the world and Topgolfs. So we fly a lot of these big projects for these big GCs, and thanks to you guys, our pilot network, we do a great job. We introduced the term last year called DSP Plus. Most of you know what a DSP is, a drone services provider. We're considered a DSP Plus in that we do this on a nationwide basis. We've got 350 plus pilots that are part of our network. Our only focus is construction. We use Drone Deploy as our enterprise software for all the jobs that we fly. And one of our goals for our clients is to give them one consistent deliverable across the country for all of their projects. So I'd like to start these off with an entrepreneurial tip. And this is how kind of my start with technology happened when I was probably 11 or 12 years old. And for those of you that are on the call that are old enough to know what this is on the screen right here, and for some of you, if there's any young ones on the call here, this is a VCR. And I remember very distinctly at 12 years old, either going to my grandparents' house or maybe it was my parents' house. They'd always have to call me in because they couldn't figure out how to get the clock on the VCR reset. It would be flashing 12 o'clock midnight. And my dad would ask, or my grandfather would ask, can you help with resetting the VCR? So that was my introduction to technology. Oh, I'm going to age myself, probably 40, 60. Yeah, that was 45 years ago. So I remember distinctively remembering when my parents asked me to do this, that I didn't want, when I got older, to ever have to rely on my kids or my grandkids to help me with technology. And I've made it a commitment to myself to really try to stay on top of technology and try to keep up on all this stuff. I gotta tell you, this AI thing doesn't scare me, but man, oh man, this is a tough one to keep up on. So I'm really excited about this because Joey's really gifted at this stuff, and we'll take a deep dive into the AI. I did a quick little research before this. The average person in this country is watching TV for 3 hours and 20 minutes every single day, and they're also spending 2 hours and 20 minutes on average on social media. And one of my personal things in life and with my kids as well is, I don't mind if you spend time on social media or watching TV, but maybe give up a Netflix show one night or one afternoon and spend an hour learning about technology. That's the only way we're going to get better at this stuff, is just to spend some time each day learning about this stuff. And I'll show you a couple of these sites, but these are my favorite sites for embracing and learning about technology. If you're an Apple person, there's a guy named Proper Honest Tech. He does a thing every single week of a new feature. He'll take it into a deep dive of some 10 new features or tools on your iPhone or your iPad or your Mac. Fantastic explainer of technology. Great site to follow. There's another website called iPhone Photography School. I see ads for them on Instagram all the time where they have an 80% off coupon, and it's an inexpensive tutorial you can sign up for. They've got great videos on YouTube with how to use your iPhone and take advantage of your iPhone to take better pictures. Another big tool of mine is taking these online courses. So you can take a course on ChatGPT, on Microsoft Word, anything technology related. Great resource for online courses. If you're a LinkedIn user, LinkedIn's used to have a thing called LinkedIn Learning. So they've got a lot of online support. And this is free if you've got a LinkedIn paid account, free tool for learning tech. And another great resource is every every company that we do business with, so like Drone Deploy has got an academy. If you go to academy.dronedeploy.com, you can sign up for free, and they've got all kinds of lessons and stuff in there that you can take at your own pace. We use monday.com, which is a project management software. Take time and go into all these programs. I take time every day to go in and try to learn something new to stay up on the latest in technology. So last year I was out in Phoenix, Arizona. They got a show called The Horizon, and they introduced this thing called Safety AI. Safety AI, really, really cool. So let me play this video for you guys, and then we can talk about this.
Beyond time, quality, and budget, in construction, safety is everything. But teams are understaffed and overworked, and spotting every risk on busy, constantly changing job sites is a challenge. But what if you could extend the view of your safety teams to every corner of all your projects every time you capture? With Safety AI, you can scale your safety coverage across all your sites without adding headcount or overloading existing teams. There are hundreds of tools labeled AI-powered, but Safety AI uses real AI training on real job site conditions to identify OSHA safety risks at 95% accuracy. Safety AI isn't just a tool, it's your reliable safety agent, monitoring every inch of your job site as often as you walk it. Just capture your site with Drone Deploy Ground, and Safety AI will do the rest. Zero setup, zero training. You'll receive location-referenced reports with OSHA citations that identify risks, so your safety leaders can resolve them appropriately. The more you use Safety AI, the smarter it gets, showing trends, identifying high-risk behaviors, and helping improve safety practices at the project and enterprise level.
Of everything Drone Deploy's ever done, I'd have to say this might be the best. And honestly, the feedback has been tremendous.
There's a lot of people that want it right now and want me to do whole write-ups and turn it on every single project we have.
Ain't nobody doing any of this kind of stuff. So I think it would be a really, really great way to create, like, not just value with Suffolk, literally every single general contract.
Safety AI, working tirelessly so you can protect your most valuable assets.
Beautiful. So I guess by a show of hands, is anyone raise their hand? Has anyone seen this Safety AI before with Drone Deploy? Yeah, this is not hype. I actually had a call today with a VDC director engineer at a GC down in Texas, and they said they're using this every single day on their job site. I saw this demoed. You walk around with a 360 camera, and the camera takes all these pictures as you do the walk. They feed those pictures back up, and AI analyzes the pictures, and they will tell you if there's a puddle of water over in the corner, if there's a ladder that's not set up properly, if someone's not wearing a safety vest, if someone's standing on a ladder, not wearing a hard hat, if there's an extension cord lying on the ground. This thing will in real time pick out all these problems, and they'll put them into a nice report. Because as most guys are walking around the job site, the soups or the PM or the safety manager, they've only got a couple minutes, and they're walking around only looking in one direction or getting pulled in a lot of different directions. This thing's literally looking around in 360 degrees from all the pictures that are being taken and giving a report that helps point out OSHA problems before they become problems and turn into big, huge fines. So this is just one example of what's happening right now. This isn't going to happen in 2030 or 2035. This is happening right now in real time. So, Corey, you've got a question.
Yes, sir. I'm wondering, did they incorporate that into the drone flights too, or just the ground photo stuff?
Right now, it's just the ground photo. So you have to have the 360 interior capture feature turned on. And if you've got that, they can then add the Safety AI to that. They've not, which I'm surprised. That's a good question. I'm surprised because Joey is actually, we've talked about that in the office here. Someone's got to be analyzing. We're actually looking into it ourselves because we get hundreds or thousands of pictures every month for job sites that we're on. If we can put those pictures through AI and ask it to start looking for safety issues, that's just around the corner from happening. So I'm surprised Drone Deploy hasn't got aerial safety stuff yet, but just ground. Joey, thanks for joining us. So I met Joey, gosh, I'm bad with time, but probably a year and a half ago. We were going through a growth spurt here. We needed someone to help out with the with HR, and soon after he got started, we kind of realized that he's got a great skill set in HR, but really has got a nice knack for loves learning AI. So, Joey, if you want to tell us maybe a little bit about yourself, and then we'll kind of jump into some live examples.
Absolutely. My background has always been AI. I actually went to college specifically with a purpose of studying and adapting and learning these technologies and rolling out even my own AI models. This goes back, it's been about 12 years now. I've been doing a lot of this stuff. Even back in 2017, I built my first, we called it Mood Bot, but it was a fun little AI that helped enjoy or studied the work culture and provide suggestions from an HR perspective. But now we're seeing this kind of large boom. This is probably the greatest time for AI that we've ever seen in human history. And it's a very exciting time. And more importantly, I'm seeing how we can use this technology to empower ourselves. And that's going to be a huge part of today's conversation. I'm certain most everybody here at this point has heard of ChatGPT, or maybe you've heard of Gemini. Yeah, so we've all heard and seen a lot of these tools, but in many cases, if you haven't played around or been in them, it can be difficult to understand how we can use these or where they're effective. A lot of times I've seen individuals use them almost like a search engine, going in, putting in basic information and such. Maybe you've generated like an email template or a little bit of copy. But the thing is, these tools, effective today is the dumbest that AI will be, which is to say every single day that you use these tools, every single day they get used, they're getting smarter and they're getting faster. We have never experienced a technological boom like this in human history, where the technology has advanced super quickly. We've had technological revolutions, like when you've got industrial revolution, you have the internet boom and such. Like all of these things came out and it was fast and it was game changing for the whole market. But even those things took years. In terms of AI, we're talking months now. Things that we're features on one platform will be features on another competitor's platform within a couple months there. And the technology is developing so quickly, it's almost impossible to keep up with it. But the things that I've learned here is that there is also a lot of fear in the ideas that AI is going to be taking over. And I'm certain you guys have seen some of the prompts and things that it doesn't quite work like that. But the thing is, AI is this tool that empowers us. And if you use it right, you can actually use it to enhance yourself rather than just have it do work for you. So we can talk here that these are the three things that I always recommend whenever you're prompting, working with AI. And we'll do more of this in a live demo. But as we talk about this, you need to make sure you're being specific, you're providing clear instructions, and you keep the conversation going. When I say be specific, when you're interacting with AI, this generative AI and everything here is very task driven. It will try its hardest to just complete the task based on what you told it to do. But if you're not specific on the things that you want, the content that you want from it, and you don't give a lot of details there, it's going to make a lot of assumptions here. So for example, if I say I'd like to write an out of office email, it will provide me a template for it. But if I say I want to write an out of office email to my boss and throw in there that I'm going to be out these days and I want to like any of this information, it will be able to cater it more to that. And you'll see in some of the examples when we start designing business strategy using AI, the more details, the more information you can provide, a better picture it can provide as well. Providing those clear instructions is equally important. This software is very task-driven. It wants to get the job done, but it doesn't always know how. And the more clarity and the more details you provide by steps and instructions you give it, the better the output that you'll get. But this last piece is the single most important thing. And if you take anything away from today, do not just do a single prompt and leave and be done with the conversation. Keep the conversation going. This technology is learning. It's adapting, it's adjusting itself based on the feedback and the information we provide it. That means you can give it feedback instantly on stuff. If you don't like something, you could just say, nope, that was wrong. Try again. You can say, I really liked this part, but I'd prefer these adjustments to be made. It will not only make those improvements and remember it in the context for which you're interacting with it, but it will remember that into the future as well. So that future instances that you're using it, it'll be even more specific and more relatable to what you're looking for.
Everyone's being bombarded today by Gemini, Claude, Anthropic, ChatGPT. Does it really matter which one we go with? It seems to me that getting this prompt right and getting these basics right is really more important than which ChatGPT that you pick. Do you have any thoughts on that? Because we're all getting bombarded by what ChatGPT do I even sign up for?
I'll say that when it really comes down to it, almost every single model, I can't speak to DeepSeek, but almost every single model functions very similarly. They have different styles, they have different approaches to how they handle things, but you can use these same prompts, these same styles, and this same logic regardless of LLM that you're using for it. So it doesn't matter if it's Claude, doesn't matter if it's Gemini, doesn't matter if it's ChatGPT. Now, don't get me wrong, they'll tell you it matters. But in reality, in my experience, it doesn't super matter which one. What really matters is how you talk to it. And that's the thing that's really tricky to learn, is understanding how do you talk to the machine to get what you want out of it. Now, when you get really deep, there are subtle differences that can compound. But for 99% of users, we're not going to notice those subtle differences. Regardless of model, regardless situation, the techniques that we're going to be talking about today, you can use anywhere. So it really comes down to understanding how do you talk to these machines and how do you get more out of them than what they're even letting on there as well. And there's so many things that we can learn and take from it. For today's demonstration, I'm going to be using ChatGPT for it, but like I said, you can use any model that you like. This is just an easy one to access, and generally speaking, most people have access to it. If you've never accessed ChatGPT before, it's really simple. You can go chatgpt.com and you can actually get started immediately, or you can make an account and it can save your prompts. And I highly recommend just making an account, because one of the powerful things with this is that you can customize ChatGPT in particular to have the personality that you want it to have the kind of the responsiveness that you want it to have. And one of the first things I'll show you that has made it more interactive even for myself is that in the upper right-hand corner where you have your account, you can customize ChatGPT. And in here, you could provide it, what should it call you? What do you do? What traits should it have? And this is where you can get very specific. I've trained my ChatGPT to be conversational, thoughtful, don't always agree with me and stuff. Don't sugarcoat things. Tell it like it is. Match my tone. Be direct and grounded. And I'll share this prompt with everybody in the chat, just so you guys have access to it as well. But this is the information that I give to ChatGPT to say, hey, you need to speak like this. You need to interact with this, because it makes it more direct and more impact driven. There. And of course, you could throw things if you want it to be more witty, if you want it to be skeptical or traditional, encouraging, if you'd prefer it to be more poetic in responses, you can do that too. And what that's called is, it's called like a pre-prompt. The idea behind it is that you're giving it some information on what to do, some instructions, before it does the task that you actually want it to do. But let's say you wanted to get started here. You wanted to ask, how could I learn more from ChatGPT? How could I get involved with this? How could it become relevant to me? And one of the best techniques for doing this is telling the AI to ask you questions, interview you. And one of the first prompts I'm going to be sharing here today is getting started with ChatGPT. We've got this prompt here, and I'm going to post it once again in the chat. And I believe, Anne, correct me if I'm wrong, we have a guide that we're going to be sharing with the group afterwards, so they have access to all these prompts, correct?
That's correct.
Yep.
Perfect. So if you don't copy them here, don't worry. We'll send out a follow-up so you'll have access to all of these prompts we're using today. But this is the prompt here. I would like to better understand how AI can help me. Ask me 5 questions, one at a time, to learn more about me, the work that I do, and build an understanding of what I hope to get out of using AI. One of the most powerful techniques with AI is asking it to interview you, asking it to ask you questions so that it can get all the information it needs. And here is the magic of it. Because it knows how to steer the questions and drive into things, it can find information that we didn't even consider. It can find these blind spots that we didn't even consider before. So, for example, I'm going to open up this. Don't worry about the temporary chat here. It's just so it doesn't pull my information. But you can see here, it's like, hey, first question, what are the top 2 to 3 responsibilities that take up most of your time each week? So I'm going to actually throw out to the group here. What are 2 to 3 activities or responsibilities that take up the most of your time each week? Searching for clients. Perfect. Let's throw that in. Filling the sales pipeline. Excellent. Let's say searching for clients, emails. Yes, emails are always there. Emails. So let's throw these in as kind of like our top 3 activities. Tells me a lot already. You're wearing the business hat pretty hard. When you're searching for clients and filling the pipeline, what specific tasks do you repeat weekly? What are some tasks you guys repeat weekly, particularly as you're searching for clients? Is it cold outreach? Is it the writing proposals? Researching leads? Is it LinkedIn networking? What are the things that you would say take up the most of your time, or are the things that you do most? Cold calling. Excellent. Throw that in here. Let's say it's cold calling. Classic hustle. Cold calling means you're actively prospecting, probably dealing with rejection and burning time just trying to get someone to listen. What kind of clients are we chasing? We're talking about drone services for construction, totally different game. Yeah, it's pulling in some of my other information. What are your current processes for managing your leads and tracking who I've contacted and followed up with and closed? So I'll throw it out there. Are you guys using CRMs? Are you tracking with spreadsheets or sticky notes? How are you keeping track of this?
How about 8.5 by 11 piece of paper and a legal pad?
Perfect. Legal pad of paper. Old school respect. There you go. Also a ticking time bomb for scalability. Absolutely. But what would AI helping you actually look like? Is their final question. Are you hoping for automation, creative ideas, lead scoring, writing help, scheduling, something else? So I'll ask the group, what do you wish AI could help you with? Email automation, all of the above. All of the above. And let's see what it comes back with. I'll say it. Social media automation, yes. So you can see here how quickly it can process. It took these 5 questions, took our information in and says, hey, your current pain points are lead generation, outreach, tracking contacts, content creation, and need more time for actual revenue driving work. How can AI help us today? Lead research automation. Use AI to scrape and summarize potential construction clients in your area. Doing cold email and script generation. I'll show you how to do a bunch of these as well today. Follow up in CRM tracking, proposal writing, scheduling and task management. And then it even provides us some immediate next steps. We can have it build us a lean AI-assisted CRM using Airtable or Notion. We can create usable cold call outreach scripts and templates. We could set up a system to auto-generate leads and lists weekly, and we could start logging our current deals into a trackable format that scales. These are all suggestions, and obviously we didn't even need to give it so much information, and it's already started to create an action plan for us. And this is where some of the turning point I want to share coming in. Because we have AI here that's able to take our ideas, take our suggestions, and look through its massive database of information. We're talking a library of like 14 quadrillion books, taking in all of this information and it's saying, here's how I can best help you. Here's how I can best guide you on finding what you need and in making improvements. But we can go and do even better. Does somebody want to share with me their LinkedIn profile? Perfect. We're going to pull this in, Tim. Here's what we're going to do. We know that the importance of LinkedIn and our presence on LinkedIn. It tells a lot, not only to our clients, it tells a lot to potential recruiters, hiring managers, contracts. It tells a lot about just not only our work experience, but what we're offering service-wise. So let's say we have our URL here and we want to make an improvement. Now, obviously we can make copy, and I could sit in here and copy all of the content from this URL, or I can go in here and say, hey, I want you to review this URL. Go to this place, and based on the profile details, create a new About Me page, and let's do it for clients. Just something simple. It's now can do that research for us. And you can see it's finding your information. And Tim, I guess you'll have to tell me, does this look correct to you based on the information it pulled from your LinkedIn and kind of the summary of your experience?
Looks pretty good.
Good. Well, I'm glad to hear that as well. And you can see right here, I gave it clear direction. I said, here's your data. This is your context and information you need to find. Take this information, and here is the task that you need to complete. Based on the profile details, create for me a new About Me section that better summarizes my expertise and makes me more marketable to clients. With that, it's not only done all of that, it's created even a call to action section saying, hey, if you're seeking this trusted UAV leadership with deep experience in geospatial intelligence, aerial mission execution, and regulatory navigation, let's discuss how I can elevate your project. It's very clever at pulling in call to action, tying experience together. And you guys saw me do this in, 2 seconds? I think this took 5 seconds even. It took 5 seconds to generate and create all this.
What took so long? We don't have this kind of time.
I think it had to do, what took so long is it searched on the web twice.
Nice.
Pulled there. You can even see that oftentimes it will provide suggestions. It'll provide information saying, hey, here's other ways that you can angle this, and you can tailor this as well. It's providing that information and suggestions. But let's expand, right? We're not here to just sit on this. We want to go deeper and say, I am looking to reach out to potential leads on LinkedIn. What kind of message based on the profile above should I send? And who should I target? So let's say we have no idea. We don't know what we want to write, and we don't even know who we should target. Let's throw it out there and say, hey, it's now going to pull in here. It's going to look here, and it's like, hey, maybe you could target your director of public safety, head of facilities and maintenance, project manager construction, VP of operations, GIS manager, a director of innovation. It could do these kind of filters, and it's already creating sample LinkedIn messages. Here's that connection message. Here's that follow-up message. Notice here that connection message, this is going to be under 200 characters as well, because that's the limit when you do a connection request. And once you've connected, now here's your extra message that it throws in here. It's throwing some generic stuff in there as well. If I provided those details and that information, it would already have your company name and information here. It even will provide you tips. Include a recent drone photo or video link in your profile. Help prospects see that value. And it'll even offer, you want to customize few personal messages as well? Let's put in the information. But let's say I want to get even more specific. I am located in the Bay Area. Can you find me some active construction projects and contact information for those projects? for those companies running those projects. Let's have it do this. I'm going to make one quick swap here so it can think a little bit smarter. So now we can expand this. We can continue iterating because it has all this information. I can go in and saying, hi, I'm here. Find me work. Find me the information. And you can see right now it's building that request. It's looking at the area. And then it's going to start digging. And you can see right here, there might be a PDF on sanfrancisco.gov. Now, I just said Bay Area, but it's looking online right now. It's going to start digging through government websites. It's going to start digging through all of these resources. And it's going to start pulling leads and information right here. It found DPR construction now and a phone number. It found this Bolt's phone number with Stephanie Osbar as a contact. It's finding actual people right now for us. And my prompt was 2 sentences here. This is the real power of AI and how you can use it to work for you, to not only create stuff for you, but it can find your leads. It can find your messaging. It can revamp your website. My purpose layer website, all the copy created by AI, designed for there, because I'll admit it here. I don't know SEO. I don't know anything about marketing at all. This is not my specialty. It's not an area with there. And with AI, I'm a little bit more empowered. I can do things that I don't normally have access to doing. I don't know how to generate leads or like find the leads and contact information. I have some ideas how I might do it. But with AI, I now have a list of 5 potential contacts right now that we could phone up. It looks like we've got scope and schedules. We've got the companies that they're doing and what their projects are. It even found emails and phone numbers to all of these people with cited links. And this took 1 minute and 20 seconds. Andy, don't mind me asking, how long would this process take if you were just doing it now without AI?
It's hours. I mean, this stuff is hours. You'd have to go to so many different sites. If you could even find the sites, this would take you hours to go figure this stuff out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it took us a minute and a half. Not only did it find all this information for us, it cited it. So we know exactly where it's coming from there and where it got stuff, which a lot of it is coming from the San Francisco media. There's Cahill Contractors, the contact information, Mercy Housing. So like it's pulling it there and it's already giving us feedback based on our conversation saying, hey, I see you're updating your LinkedIn. I see you're looking for contacts. Here's what you can do next. Here's your lead with a value opener for LinkedIn. Here's your follow-up asset. Here's your segment cadence of what you do, who you reach out to and what you do there. It can design your entire business strategy.
Joey, I'm not very good at writing emails. I want to go after these clients, look like they're really good clients to go after, but how do I write an email that would encapsulate all the services that I offer that I can send as an introduction email to all these people? If I want to send an email to Sarah, I've never written an email before from scratch.
I'll just throw on just really quick, simple. I need an email that I can write to Sarah to entice her with my drone services. We can throw it in here and it's going to start searching now the web for Sarah, finding information about her. I don't know 100%. It might have just found her LinkedIn and her Instagram. We'll see what it turns up on there as well. But it's going to start doing that research. We can see associate capital email. There, it's finding. It's going to find all this custom information, this background stuff, so that it can make an enticing offer to this individual. Not something to just like a general project manager or a soup. Starts here with a congratulation message, right? On the recent project. With your Tesla Hone document control background and 12 years shepherding mega projects with BART Phase 2 and cattle electrification, it's got there. It's already in here pointing out pain points that you could send in this message and how they could be solved with drones right away. I'll fly at no cost, insured demo mission, just to display there. And Tim, it's pulling your information right now. on this too.
That's
Just make it
just
the full email.
that's just mind-boggling.
And as you guys see, this took 34 seconds. This whole exercise took less than 10 minutes. And we already have an actionable email to a potential lead that we could send right now to potentially start the conversation, lock in some business.
So you send it to her right now. Let's see if Tim gets any bites.
See how it responds.
Tim gets any bites on this one.
And that's one of the things too that's powerful here is because this is so connected to so many resources, we can do pretty much anything we want with it. I'm certain many of you have seen or heard of some of the image generation that we could do. Let's say I want to make a new logo. I'd like you to create a new business logo. This is description of my business. So we could provide a description, but we're going to keep it really simple right now. I'm a drone service provider. The brand theming. What kind of theme do we want? Do we want it professional, friendly? Do we want scary? Give me, I guess I'll take the first 3 theme ideas that people throw in. Professional. What else?
Clean.
Clean's a good one.
Mhm.
Want to go, I'll add an iconic. A company called Lilac City Drone for a company. Here we go. Actually, I'll put that in over here. My business, drone service provider, Lilac City Drone. Okay, let's do this. Let's see what comes up with. Now, I will say image generation in this, it takes a little bit more time, like probably a couple minutes. So while this is generating, let's open up a new tab here. And Andy earlier talked about how Drone Deploy is able to go in on ground, analyze images, right? And identify safety concerns. But that's the thing about AI. Everybody's developing it. Everybody's growing it. So let's say we were to take an image like this. We see here just a construction site, things are going on. And let's say I were to throw it in here and say, are there any safety concerns in this picture? See, AI has been trained on so many images that its image recognition is really good. Like really, really good at defining and observing things. So we could see based on this picture, it's identified there's an edge exposure, potential fall protection, identified some trip hazards here, specifically a hose and wire coil are bunched up on the floor without proper containment. There's numerous scattered materials, rebar, cable, tools, and rods. There's an unsecured tools and equipment. There's improper PPE usage, which I'd say probably in the case. It might be there. I'm not exactly sure what he's working on at that moment. 2, it did this in just a couple seconds from one picture. And we know that when we do these flights, we get hundreds of pictures. And it's very easy to feed all of these into a device and say, hey, what are some safety concerns? What are some things that we could raise on? And we could do this automatically as well. Now, I believe, Paul, what do you think for Lilac City Drone? Decide to add the flower. Do we want to change some of the colors as well?
This is a company that I originally started before I became a Blue Nose franchise owner, but I was trying to incorporate somehow a flower, a lilac, something in the logo, and I was striking out all over the place. So yeah, no, pretty cool.
Perfect. Well, and with this too, because it's iterative, we can give feedback. We can give ideas. We can say, I like this. I don't like this. I want to change these colors. I want it to be more dynamic. And it will take in all that feedback and make adjustments on it as well. And this is something that might sound incredibly insane, but what you're seeing here with the text, the fact that it has text that's coherent is as new as February of this year. This has been out for just about 5 months. This availability of, before this point, it was scrambling up words and everything. and how quickly all of this has changed too. And later this month, we're supposed to be getting a new model of for ChatGPT that's supposed to, make another disruption in the industry. We'll see. I have to see the model before I can say confidently, but this technology is constantly evolving, constantly changing. And it's incredibly important for everyone here to get familiar with it because this is going to be the future. Many times we've talked about it earlier on, when this industry disrupting technology comes out, it takes months, sometimes in years, before we see any kind of impact. We're seeing full-on changes in industry over couples of months. I believe it was predicted by the end of this year, 30% of all code will be written by AI. And in the next couple years, we won't have programmers anymore. Not fully trained CS programmers like myself. We'll have these people that can use AI to adapt new code. And the same is for all of us here. The individuals that can figure out and use this stuff to their advantage are going to be the ones to thrive. Which is why I know we're running up on time a little bit, but I want to share one more technique today. Something incredibly important. So one more technique that I want to share with everyone today is this idea of CRIT. This is all you need to remember is CRIT. CRIT is an acronym for Context, Role, Interview, Task. But it's a way that you can format your prompts to get the most out of AI. First, you give it context. You give it all the information you can, be it about your company, about website, about your background, anything that's relevant to the task at hand. You give it a role. You tell it, I want you to think like this kind of person. I want you to think like a project manager on site. I want you to think like a brand manager that's helping me boost my business. Whatever role you tell it to take on, it will provide that kind of insight and feedback to it as well. Then you ask it to interview you. You tell it, ask you 3 questions, 5 questions, 20 questions, whatever you feel it needs to take so that it can understand the context that you might be missing and get all of your angles. And finally, you give it a task. And the task could be anything. It could be, I want to design a new business strategy. I want to update a logo. I want to tackle, like we showed before, I want to figure out how to find leads for stuff and brand myself and position myself with a competitive advantage. And I'm going to share with you guys a prompt right now that all of you can use. And I even added a steps to it. So don't get me wrong, it looks hefty, but don't be worried there. You could go in and modify it fairly easily. So you can add in with this prompt, you just put in your website, short description of your business, the services you provide, and your target audience here. You can ask it this role. I sold it to be an experienced brand and marketing manager as well. Asked it to interview you for just 3 questions, and it's going to design a LinkedIn marketing strategy aimed at boosting your credibility as a DSP and connecting you with individuals that would buy your services. And then I gave it some steps to say, hey, review my information, interview me, design a multi-step LinkedIn marketing strategy with this. What this will do is after its interview, it will provide you pages upon pages of ideas and documents and resources to get wherever you want. And of course, you can adapt this to whatever you want to do as well. We could say, I just want to figure out how to optimize, something going on in my life. Maybe I want to figure out groceries. I think I'll have to double check here. Oh, it has been a while. Nope, I'll have to find it later too. But I have used this to analyze my refrigerator to identify what ingredients I have and then suggest recipes for this as well. There really is no limit to this. But Larry does bring up a very good point, which is there is a very clear risk with AI at times, which is sometimes AI hallucinates, which is to say it just makes stuff up too. And so you want to be cautious about some of the content and copy it comes out with. For example, let's say I run this prompt again to review the URL that I provide. I'd like it to make an about me section for clients And let's grab this URL here. I don't know what it's about to find. Oh, actually, it did a pretty good job finding it too. Sometimes it makes an update, but now it's going through and it's pulling in a bunch of information because it's making assumptions here. It's now associating me for Lilac City drones as well, throwing in for there. It's like, hey, you want this to be more niche? Is this on the Bay Area? Like, it's trying to pull in all the context from what we've talked about today and saying, is this what you want? But it doesn't know. And the thing is, it will always talk confidently. No matter what you ask it to do, it will always be confident, even if it doesn't know something. So I always recommend look at it with a grain of salt, double check anything too before it gets sent out, so that you don't get caught like sharing a bunch of information that isn't real.
Can you possibly get to the Sora example to show everyone what they're doing with videos? Is there an example of Sora's got a website, or if you've got examples of what it does for, this is just mind-blowing stuff as well.
So this is Sora. Let's go to videos. I don't know what people are generating here. Some spooky stuff. This stuff here is Sora. Sora is OpenAI's video generation platform there. But this is not the only one. Two, there is Google, which just announced their VEO 3. This right here is their video generation. And this is incredibly important because this is not technology that's being guessed at in the future. This is technology that's available today. What this is a AI specifically made to generate and create videos. And you could see here, like, this was an example. The prompt they used for this was a medium short shot frames an old sailor in his knitted blue sailor hat, casting a shadow over his eyes, thick gray beard obscuring his chin. He holds a pipe, and he says, the ocean, it's a force, a wild untamed might, and she commands your awe with every breaking light. And while I don't have the audio on right now for it, it can generate the audio. It can generate all the sound effects and everything. And it looks pretty real to me on it. And this is stuff that's out today. And as I said at the beginning, today is the day that AI is the dumbest. It's only getting better and better, which means very soon, the kind of things that we'll be able to do with drones is going to be out of this world. There. We're talking like it can map by estimates when it does its fly around. It could probably map a lot of the interior on things. It could auto spot safety risks. It could take from a quick video and say, hey, here's what the project looked like over a time lapse, and here's what we're predicting it to look like based on progress over the next coming weeks. There. All of these are possibilities, and it's a matter of us figuring it out. In addition to this, I know I've been introducing the team more to automations with AI as well. There's many services out there that can automate things. We have some technologies that we're testing out and exploring here at Drone Brothers to automate our meetings so that when we have meetings and talk about things, it'll create tasks for us based on the meeting transcript and just add it to our Monday board there. And that's stuff that I know that given some time, we can have that up and running probably in like a week or so as well. It's quick and powerful.
So, Joey, I got a question for you. Everything you've been demoing tonight is with a paid version, correct? So everything you're doing.
Yes.
So for those that don't, give everyone kind of the free version. Will do just a couple videos, photos a month for you. What's the difference between a free version and paying ChatGPT $20 a month for a paid version?
So main differences that you're going to notice are you get some limits on image generation. So you might be only able to do a couple images a day for it. We haven't dove into some of the fun features, but there is like this dictate feature works great if you don't want to type everything out. But there is also a conversation mode with the AI, which we'll see if it's more on the phone there, but there's a conversation mode, and I love chatting with my AI companion and I'll do it on my phone. We'll go for like walks and I'll just have a conversation back and forth and we'll brainstorm and all of that too. That feature is like a paid feature of it as well. So it can do everything I've shared today, you can do on your free account as well. It's just a matter of like your limits and how much you want to do for it. I will say if you are able to invest in it, it's $20 a month. So it's really not much. And for the amount that I know the amount that I use this on a daily basis and have my like wife using it for things too, it is very much worth the money.
Yeah, I'll just speaking from experience because I like to research to death stuff before I spend the money on it. There's two things that I've learned in the last 5 years that I couldn't be without today. One of them is a LinkedIn paid account. I think it's $79 a month for a LinkedIn paid account. If you want to take advantage and take this new business development stuff seriously, step up and pay for a LinkedIn paid account. And you should definitely for 20 bucks a month, this thing you'll get paid back 100-fold if you start using it on a regular basis.
And
It'll
if you're
save you
looking
that.
for resources on it too, just ask. I shared this prompt, but I'm asking it to now be a coach for me to suggest daily routine, exercises, online resources so that I could better learn how to use ChatGPT here. You could see become highly proficient in using ChatGPT for problem solving, creation, productivity. Here's its recommended daily routine. Here is its core exercises that it's listed here. Weekly evaluation, how I can track progress. I could follow up with this and say, oh, actually, it's still going because it's searching for here are some online resources that's provided. Free intro and advanced courses at learnprompting.org. It's got YouTube, so it's recommending like these creators for us. And I just asked that one quick prompt. And we could, of course, adapt that prompt to learn anything we want to learn. If we want to learn more techniques with our flights, if we want to learn drone deploy, if we want to learn how to do SEO too, this can do that research to find you all of your materials for you as well. And this is just one of the tips I always recommend as well is like whenever you're starting a new task or something, ask yourself the question, how can AI help me? And if you start looking at some of the problems and the things that you're doing in your day to day through the lens of like, how can AI help me do this? You're going to find yourself becoming more and more efficient with things as well. Particularly since like the time it would have taken me to find all these resources by hand for you is nowhere near his time that it took to find this. It would have been hours for me to find all these resources and build a guide. And it did it right away.
There's ads that are on Instagram all the time and YouTube that you take this 30-day course and they're going to train you in AI. Are those courses worth a darn or just you're better off?
Honestly, in today's day and age, you're going to find more resources on YouTube. I know I remember sharing this fact, but the world's biggest search engine is Google. The world's second biggest search engine is YouTube. Well, there is content for everything on there. If you want to learn how to get started with AI, just go to YouTube. Don't pay for courses. You will find it there. And you don't have to do super difficult searches either. It's like you could search basically what I asked here is like, I want to get better with ChatGPT, and you will find getting started guides all over the place.
Or anyone's got any experiences that they want to share about how they've used AI or how they use it on a day-to-day basis?
I use it every day without question. And I think the most valuable part of this that it has brought to the table for me at Drone Brothers is just it comes at whatever challenge you give it. It will come at it from angles that you did not think of.
Yes.
And you can be in the business for 25 years. And if you ask it very specific questions, carefully crafted questions, the key is in the prompt.
Yes.
If you begin to craft those questions, it will come at the answer from angles that you would not come at yourself. And some of them are very revelatory. It's like, I would have never thought of coming at this from that particular perspective. So that it helps with every single day.
A quick question for Joseph. There's a lot of options out there, Gemini, Grok, ChatGPT. Obviously, you use ChatGPT. Do you think one is better than the other? Maybe you don't have experience with the others. I don't know, but
I've played around with most all of them. I haven't played around too much with Grok yet, but I've played around with quite a bit. There are technical differences between them. For example, Claude, Anthropic's AI, is much more human sounding with its responses, and it does a very good job at like the deep research. ChatGPT has a couple different models that it uses. You saw earlier, I switched to the O3 model, which is a little bit stronger at advanced reasoning and doing research. But the 4.0 model operates for most tasks. So there are minor differences. For the vast majority of the stuff that we're doing, it doesn't matter model that you use. You can use these same prompts. It will use the same logic on it. And for anything too, you can ask it to dig deeper as well. But there are technically some subtle differences between the each. Like I know Gemini is much stronger at coding than ChatGPT is.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just curious because I have access to a couple of them. So I'm just trying to figure out if I'm going to spend money on something, which is the best option.
I will say one thing that I like about ChatGPT is its memory feature. So every conversation that you have with ChatGPT on a free account or a paid account, it has distinct memories. So I'll go here, I'll show you a little bit. But if I go into the personalization here in the memory, I have the custom instructions. I showed that at the beginning, but I also have this memory section. This is everything that ChatGPT has learned about me through my conversations with it. And I can go in here and I can delete things, I can add things, but it gives all of this information. And so all future prompts, it knows stuff about me already. So I don't have to give as many details. And that's why we saw earlier when I was prompting it, it was trying to pull from like, hey, you haven't given me a whole lot of info. So here's what I know about you. Is this the direction you want?
Yeah.
And so then when I threw the curveball, it's like, no, we're talking about this. It's like, oh, okay. Then we're not talking about you right now.
I'd be a little nervous. I'd be a little nervous that it was going to recommend a psychiatrist for me, but
Oh yeah.
only if you ask it to.
Yeah. Again, I've been doing this for 12 years. I've been writing blog posts for 12 years. I've been writing LinkedIn content for not eight years. This thing does a better job than I can do with 12 years of experience doing this. How it does it, it's mind-blowing to me. What used to take me an hour to write a really good blog post, this thing will do it in literally 4 or 5 seconds. My job then is to go through and just make sure it didn't say some really stupid things or add stupid cartoon emojis in there or whatever. But your job is to control this thing and just oversee it. But it doesn't matter which AI you're using. They're all, whether you're talking to, you could be talking to Edison or Einstein. It's the end of the day, it's going to make you a better business person and help.
The most impactful thing from this is like business leaders here is it gives us more time to focus on the important things. We started this right with what are the tasks that are taking up our time. Cold calling, figuring out the plans, figuring out who to contact, actually writing and drafting the messages. This AI can take that for you. It can take that burden and that work off of your shoulders so that you can focus on other things, family, life, strategy, business strategy and stuff. Like it gives you that time back that you can use in better areas and just be a stronger entrepreneur.
This is hard for our brains to process, but it's as real as it gets. We're looking into stuff. We've got a team of editors on staff here. We're not looking to fire editors. We love having our people work for us. We want the editors to be able to use this to be more efficient because we know that in the next couple months, you're going to take all the video footage you guys are collecting for us. You collect 30 minutes worth of footage. It takes us 15 to 30 minutes to go make a really nice video to share with our clients. It's 15. If we're doing a 150 videos a month times 15 minutes of video, do the math on how much time it's taking to put these videos together. And we've gotten really good at that stuff. My guess is in the next 90 days, AI you guys will collect the footage. We'll take your photos, feed it into AI. We'll take your videos, feed it into AI, and we'll automate this thing. There won't be a human being touching this stuff. It'll hit box. It'll grab it from box. It'll produce a video. It'll put that video on YouTube or Vimeo. It will then communicate with Monday to say, okay, who's that video get shared with? Oh, these 10 people at Ryan Company. This is all going to be automated and happen in the next 6 months. There won't be a human being touching this stuff. And like Joey said, we're gonna be free to be, I'm not sure what we're gonna be free to be doing. Maybe more hiking and biking and
that's my hope.
Being with our friends or
eating some food.
Yeah, thinking deeper thoughts on stuff, because that's where it's all going. Cool. Joey, awesome as usual. I learned more stuff again tonight. That was great.
Happy to share.
Yep. And thanks everyone for spending the time. I know we went a little bit over tonight, but thank you for spending the time tonight. If you know other pilots that want to learn this stuff, let them know about this event for next month and to join our network. And thank you everyone again for your time tonight.
Thanks for tuning in to Drone Brothers Radio. Be sure to subscribe and share this episode as we continue exploring how drones are transforming the construction industry.